What's up, David? It is Wednesday, 10:43 in the morning. I'm done with all my classes for the day, so I decided to get working on the video. I was gonna give you a tour of my room, but I had something else that I read this morning I thought was more important, especially to me. But first, I had a couple responses for your thingy, bopper, your video. You said it should be called an infatuant instead of a crush, and I agree with that. Yeah, you offered zero advice whatsoever. So, thanks for nothing, first off. You said Arnold ran from 2003 to 2011. You weren't sure if he was a good governor or not. From what I've heard, he was a great governor. I've talked to a couple people from California, and they really like him. However, he cannot become president. Unfortunately, he was not born in the United States, and that's kind of a technicality issue. And then your last question for me was, what does Kanye running for president mean for our pop culture? And I would submit to you that this isn't the first time something like this has happened. I would submit that this is probably the third or fourth time. The first time was with Ronald Reagan in 1980. Ronald Reagan, before becoming president, was a actor and a famous movie star, and that helped him with his public speaking and helped him. He had a fan base already. And then most recently, the one I can think of is Donald Trump. Donald Trump, while being a businessman, I think we can consider more of a celebrity because we know him from the shows like The Apprentice and all of the celebrity stuff. It also gives him great oral skills. It gave him a fan base, and he has the infrastructure to run for president. So I think Kanye, while I don't know any of his policies, I don't think he's a moron in the sense that he's crafted his career to run the career the way he needs it to. So I'm not sure about Kanye's politics or anything, but he would have a fan base starting off and a loyal fan base, even if that starts off with 5-10% of the general vote. Like that's what Donald Trump started with, and right now he's winning in all the polls for the Republican nomination. So, politically, Kanye running might be a good thing, and it's not the first time we've seen it with Ronald and Donald. Ronald and Donald. Anyway, this might be a slightly longer video than we do because I want to talk about an article I read this morning talking about free college. And just to catch you up and to catch anyone else who's watching up, President Obama, in his State of the Union address, wants to make college more affordable. He also he wants 2 years of community college. So the Western modern world actually has either free education or they have a better education system than we do. And if you're interested, I can go more into that, especially concerning the UK and Australia and New Zealand and Denmark, countries like that. Other first world countries have free education or they have a better system than we are. But today, I'm going to talk about in the U.S. So Obama's free tuition would cost the taxpayers and the government $80 billion over 10 years. And while that sounds like a huge number, it's really not. Let's take a look at $80 billion. $80 billion is about the cost of 8 months in Iraq, according to one comment. But that's not true. Because the cost in Iraq, according to Nobel Prize winning economist Joseph Stiglitz, is, if he is correct, there's $280 million a day from Congress, $440 million a day in unfunded liabilities. So that's $262.8 billion divided by 12 months is $21.9 billion a year. So 8 months in the Iraqi war is technically costing us $175.2 billion, which is more than double the $80 billion figure that it would cost. That would right now cost us to give everyone 2 years of public education for free. And that $80 billion is divided by 10 years, so it is $178.2 billion over 8. The $8 billion a year is for the 2-year community college. If you're looking at 4-year public college universities, so Colorado State University, Colorado University, anything that's publicly funded or funded partially by the government, America's public colleges and universities collected $62.6 billion in tuition from students in 2012. This means that hypothetically, allotting the $62.6 billion a year towards public universities and colleges could solve the student debt crisis that is entrapping entire generations, including ours. And tax-wise, if you take the $62.6 billion divided by the 243 million taxpayers that are currently paying taxes every year in the U.S., that would amount to $257.6 per year for each taxpayer, or just 70 cents a day, to put everyone through college for free. Like, everyone through college for free. But scratch all of the taxpayers doing it. If you did, so the government, ironically, spend $69 billion a year on student federal aid programs such as the Pell Grants. So they're already giving $69 billion to these four-year educations. So theoretically, if the government replaced these programs with a simple budget line item for tuition-free public college education, we would save almost $7 billion a year. We would go from spending $70 billion to $63 billion. And no taxes would change whatsoever from right now. Or you could do 70 cents a day. Coming from someone who's in college and who's going to have to pay for college, I think that's worth it. I think 70 cents a day is worth it, and I think it's completely fair. Or you take the Pell Grant, or you just cut back the war in Iraq. Anyway, any thoughts on free education or that? Or what would you, if you lived in a perfect government or society, what would the one thing you would see change? Until next time, bro. Peace. So, last thing, I will include all the links to the original article I read, and I will back up some of the data with other stuff in the description. So, it's all there.